Before you hit the road this July 4th, a big car recall. Nissan recalling 480,000 vehicles because the engines can lose power while in use.
If that doesn't shock you enough, take a look at these engine problems customers have reported. Some SUV engines are designed to fail before reaching 100,000 miles, with manufacturers calculating that customer losses are more profitable than proper engineering. This might not reflect your personal experience, but industry data and consumer reports show average consumers face expensive problems with these particular models. Let's dive into these engineered disasters. The Compass has a 2.4-liter engine that Jeep knew was broken before they started building it. Their engineers tested different parts to stop oil leaks, but every design failed. Instead of fixing it, they picked the cheapest broken option. Many owners end up spending more on oil than they do on gas. The engine makes loud rattling noises, but dealerships were told to lie and call it normal. Service papers told mechanics to say burning 1 quart of oil every 1,000 miles was okay. That's like your engine drinking oil faster than most people change it. Consumer Reports gave this engine the worst possible score, 1 out of 5. Nearly 3 out of 4 owners complained about oil problems. Company executives knew engines were dying but refused to help customers for 3 years. The factory uses cheap manufacturing that scratches the engine inside, letting oil leak everywhere. Workers were forced to approve engines they knew would break. Nissan engineers designed a CVT transmission that generates deadly heat levels, knowing it would destroy engines. Internal emails show cooling system engineers warned management that 250 degrees Fahrenheit transmission temperatures would cause cascading engine failures. Management ignored these warnings to meet fuel economy targets. Dealerships received Secret Service bulletins instructing them to blame customers for aggressive driving when engines failed from CVT overheating. Service managers were trained to deny warranty claims by questioning maintenance records and driving habits. Consumer Reports documented CVT temperatures exceeding safe limits during routine highway driving, giving the Pathfinder a 2 out of 5 reliability rating. The engineering team recommended larger cooling systems and transmission coolers, but cost-cutting executives rejected these solutions. Factory workers reported being told to install CVTs they knew would fail within 60,000 miles. Nissan continued production for 3 full model years, while internal failure rates exceeded 40%. Ford's EcoBoost engines suffer from carbon buildup that engineers knew would require expensive maintenance every 30,000 miles. Design documents show Ford chose direct injection without port injection specifically to reduce manufacturing costs by $200 per engine. They calculated that owners would pay thousands in carbon cleaning rather than Ford paying for dual injection systems. Marketing teams were instructed to promote advanced direct injection technology, while engineering teams privately called it planned obsolescence. Consumer Reports documented carbon buildup requiring professional cleaning in 100% of test vehicles by 45,000 miles, earning a dismal 1 out of 5 powertrain rating. Dealerships charge $800 to $1,200 for carbon cleaning services that require removing intake manifolds. The timing chain stretching problem stems from Ford using cheaper chain guides made from plastic instead of metal. Manufacturing engineers warned that plastic guides would fail under turbocharger stress, but purchasing departments overruled them. Quality control data shows timing chains begin stretching at 40,000 miles, but Ford set warranty coverage to expire at 36,000 miles. Jeep engineers discovered the stalling problem during pre-production testing, but launched the vehicle anyway to meet quarterly targets. The engine management software has a fatal flaw where fuel injector timing becomes erratic during specific throttle transitions. Software engineers submitted 47 bug reports documenting the stalling issue, all marked "Defer to post-launch update." Dealerships were secretly instructed to blame stalling on driver error or aftermarket accessories. J.D. Power ranked the Cherokee dead last in its segment for 3 consecutive years, with 89% of reliability complaints involving engine issues and 312 problems per 100 vehicles. NHTSA received over 3,000 stalling complaints before Jeep issued the first recall. The oil consumption reaches criminal levels because Jeep designed piston rings with intentional gaps to reduce manufacturing friction losses. Engineers calculated that customers would abandon vehicles before warranty repairs became financially damaging. General Motors used timing chains they knew would fail to save $12 per engine in manufacturing costs. Engineering reports from 2009 showed the tensioner design was inadequate for the engine's torque output. GM executives decided to use the defective design anyway, calculating that most vehicles would be out of warranty when chains failed. Dealerships received internal bulletins instructing them to deny timing chain warranty claims by blaming improper oil change intervals. J.D. Power documented timing chain failures accounting for 43% of all powertrain problems, with GM dealerships replacing more Equinox engines under warranty than any other manufacturer's entire lineup. Service advisors were trained to question customers about oil change receipts and recommend expensive engine flushes instead of chain repairs. Manufacturing quality control allowed chains with defective tensioners to pass inspection for 3 years. Workers reported being pressured to approve timing chain assemblies that failed torque specifications. The oil consumption problem exists because GM designed pistons with oversized ring gaps to reduce assembly costs. General Motors used timing chains they knew would fail to save $12 per engine in manufacturing costs. Engineering reports from 2009 showed the tensioner design was inadequate for the engine's torque output. GM executives decided to use the defective design anyway, calculating that most vehicles would be out of warranty when chains failed. Dealerships received internal bulletins instructing them to deny timing chain warranty claims by blaming improper oil change intervals. J.D. Power documented timing chain failures accounting for 43% of all powertrain problems, with GM dealerships replacing more Equinox engines under warranty than any other manufacturer's entire lineup. Service advisors were trained to question customers about oil change receipts and recommend expensive engine flushes instead of chain repairs. Manufacturing quality control allowed chains with defective tensioners to pass inspection for 3 years. Workers reported being pressured to approve timing chain assemblies that failed torque specifications. The oil consumption problem exists because GM designed pistons with oversized ring gaps to reduce assembly costs. Kia used the same defective bearing design as Hyundai, despite knowing the company's engines were failing catastrophically. Korean executives mandated using substandard bearing materials to reduce costs by $40 per engine. Engineering teams from both companies shared failure data but were forbidden from fixing the design until after profitability targets were met. The sudden bearing seizure occurs because Kia designed oil passages too small to deliver adequate pressure during high load conditions. Oil system engineers warned that bearings would starve during acceleration, but cost reduction teams rejected larger oil pumps and passages. NHTSA investigations revealed these engines posed fire risks when catastrophic failures occurred in traffic, with manufacturers delaying incident reports by 18 months on average. Dealerships received training on denying bearing failure warranty claims by questioning customer maintenance and driving habits. Manufacturing plants reportedly allowed engines with defective bearings to pass final inspection to meet production quotas. When engines seized without warning, connecting rods destroyed engine blocks so completely that forensic analysis became impossible. Subaru's 2.5-liter Boxer engines consume oil at alarming rates due to deliberately oversized piston ring gaps that engineers knew would cause excessive blow-by. Internal Subaru documents show ring gap specifications were increased by 40% to reduce manufacturing costs and assembly time. Quality engineers warned that these gaps would allow oil consumption of 1 quart per 1,000 miles, but cost accountants calculated customers would simply buy more oil. The head gasket failures plagued these engines because Subaru used composite gaskets they knew couldn't handle Boxer engine stress patterns. Warranty claims data revealed Subaru processed 3.2 times more head gasket claims for Forester models than their entire lineup combined, with 67% of engines requiring major repairs before 80,000 miles. Subaru's Japanese headquarters mandated using weaker cylinder head bolts to reduce torque requirements during assembly, knowing they would stretch and cause gasket failures. Volkswagen's 3.0-liter TDI engines suffer from catastrophic timing chain failures because German engineers designed inadequate tensioner systems to meet aggressive weight reduction targets. Internal Volkswagen emails show timing chain engineers warned that plastic guides would disintegrate under diesel engine torque, but management prioritized weight savings over reliability. The emissions scandal contaminated every aspect of these engines, with software deliberately programmed to reduce performance and increase component stress during normal driving. Warranty data showed timing chain replacements spiking 780% after emission software updates, as modified engine management accelerated component wear. Engineers were forced to detune engines so severely that timing chains, oil pumps, and turbochargers operated beyond design limits. Dealerships received secret instructions to blame timing chain failures on improper diesel fuel quality or inadequate maintenance intervals. The buyback program only covered emissions violations, leaving customers with destroyed engines stranded with worthless vehicles. Land Rover's engines have cooling water pumps that die without warning and destroy the entire engine, a problem British engineers found during development but ignored to meet launch deadlines. The electric water pump was designed to fail between 40,000 to 60,000 miles, causing immediate engine overheating and total destruction. Land Rover executives forced them to use aluminum engine blocks with bad cylinder liner technology to make cars lighter, despite engineering teams proving the liners would shift under heat stress. Warranty data showed water pump failures happening with mathematical precision between 42,000 to 58,000 miles, with 91% of Discovery Sport engines needing major cooling repairs. Factory quality control let engines with improperly seated liners pass inspection for 4 years. Franchise service locations were systematically programmed to attribute water pump failures to harsh driving conditions or incorrect coolant specifications, despite Land Rover's own testing showing pumps failed during normal suburban driving. Service advisors got bonuses for selling extended warranties instead of fixing known problems. The timing chain system uses guides made from biodegradable materials that dissolve in engine oil, causing chains to skip and destroy valves. These manufacturers chose profits over reliability, leaving you with massive repair bills. Subscribe for more automotive investigations exposing what dealers hide. Watch the next video on screen for SUVs with the worst transmission problems.